beautiful noodles, it's me Nikki aka Nikki Noodle, and we are back again for another Sim Sunday. Today I am wearing my Kelsey and PJK merch. It's fine, I'm fine, we're fine, because I have decided to start the 100 baby challenge yet again. I've done this once before just for fun on my own time, and I played it for about 2 years and got to 76 babies, and then I just dropped the challenge completely. So I figured we could play together as a community of noodles and try to reach that 100 baby mark. I am going to quickly go over some of the basic rules of the challenge as well as a few announcements, so if you are not interested in hearing that, I will have a timestamp down below so you can skip into the good stuff. If you are unaware of what this challenge is, it's a challenge in The Sims 4 where one matriarch has to have 100 babies. There are some other rules, such as the matriarch is not allowed to have a regular job and has to make money in other ways. There's rules for when the children are allowed to age up or move out of the house. I will have all of the rules linked in the description, so you can check them out for yourself there if you're interested. Finally, one more quick announcement. Because this is a long-form challenge, it was probably going to take a very long time. This is going to take over Sim Sunday on my channel for quite a while, so I am interested to know if you all would prefer to see this as the sole form of Sim Sunday content and have no other Sims content. If you would like to see some Sims content such as building and cast challenges on Thursdays or Fridays, whenever I upload my second videos of the week. I'm still not sure what day of the week that will end up being, and they can kind of cycle out between non-Sims games and Sims related content. Or potentially, if I get my act together, I can maybe upload 3 videos a week and have 100 baby challenge, other Sims content, as well as a non-Sims related game throughout the week. So let me know what your preference would be and if you have any other suggestions for me. And with all that, let me introduce you to our matriarch and start building this house. Okay guys, so this is our starting matriarch. Her name is Kennedy Highland, and her traits are family-oriented, romantic, and creative, and I decided to make her aspiration super parent. That one should be easy enough to fulfill, I would think. Here's her everyday outfit, her formal wear, her athletic, sleepwear. I'm sure we'll be seeing that one probably the most. Party wear, swimwear, hot weather, and the cold weather. And my idea for her is that she's going to be very artsy and kind of eclectic and collecting things. I'm gonna try to make her main form of money be like collecting things, gardening, stuff like that, but I will resort to painting if I have to. I don't really want to do that just because I feel like a lot of people do that, and that's what I did when I played in my free time, but I will go to that if need be. So choosing a world to live in, I was originally going to do Henford-on-Bagley because I think that fits her personality a lot. But when I've lived in Henford-on-Bagley before, there's like no collecting spots. Like I had a save file where I played there and there was just like nothing ever spawning, and it was really difficult. And so if that's going to be one of my main forms of making money, I want to choose somewhere that has a little bit more. So I decided to go with Brindleton Bay because that's the same kind of vibe that I'm going for, but hopefully there will be some more collecting spots and more things around the world that I can find and potentially sell. So now we're going to get into building the house. So when building a house for the 100 Baby Challenge, I like to be very mindful of my house and the layout, just because there could potentially be 7 toddlers in the house at once, and so I want to have a nice easy layout. I try to only do 1-story houses simply because going up and down the stairs is a lot, especially for the toddlers before they have the higher movement skill. And so I'm just going to start out with a very small one-level house. This is also not at all supposed to be like a forever home. It's definitely going to change and grow as the family changes and grows. For right now, it's just going to be our one matriarch sim and potentially 1 or 2 children in this house, and then I'll probably expand it after that. So I didn't worry too much about making it too big or too fancy right now. Basically, I just need the basics, kitchen, bathroom, living room, some skill building things to make money, stuff like that. So you'll see this is a pretty empty house when we get done with it, just because also we're on a budget and I wasn't going to spend too much money on decorative things or things that wouldn't be beneficial to us. So this is the basic floor plan. I'm thinking of a kitchen on the left side of the house there, and I made that little bump out where I'm going to put a couch because I thought that'd be really cute to have a couch there and like a little table and chairs for like a breakfast nook within the kitchen. And I was planning to have this breakfast nook and then a kitchen and then a dining room behind the kitchen, but the house was simply not big enough, and also I would not have had nearly enough money to do that. So this little couch and then the breakfast nook table, and then I also have like an island with some bar stools. That's the only seating area. They don't have a formal dining table or dining room, but I think that's perfectly fine because typically when I've done the 100 baby challenge or even just played with toddlers before, I don't use high chairs because my Sims never want to cooperate with me when I use the high chairs. So I'm not worried too much about the toddlers having a place at their table or anything like that. They can sit on the couch and they will be perfectly fine to eat there, and the other Sims can sit at the table or the bar stools. There's plenty of room. I think there's 5 dining room or bar stool seats in total, so that's plenty. And then the Sims also can eat on the couch and everything, so I'm really not too worried about all that. This furniture that I'm putting down as well is not necessarily the final design for this house. I just kind of needed to put some stuff down to get an idea of the layout. And you can see I didn't put the counters all the way back to the wall at first because I was still planning to try to fit a dining room back there, but I realized pretty quickly that that is not nearly enough room. So here I am just laying out the island as well as the breakfast nook table. I love putting just a small table with like 2 chairs in the kitchen as a little breakfast nook. I think that's so cute and just feels very cozy, but also very realistic because I know quite a few people who have a formal dining table or a formal dining room even, as well as like a little seating area in the kitchen, and nobody that I know with a formal dining room actually uses it on a day-to-day basis. Maybe for like fancy meals, Thanksgiving, Christmas, stuff like that, but on a day-to-day, I don't know of anybody who uses their formal dining room. Everybody that I know uses counters and bar stools in the kitchen or just a smaller table that's also in the kitchen. So I think that's pretty realistic to have that. And now I'm just trying to lay out the rest of the house. I blocked off the right side of the house now, and that's going to be a bedroom as well as a bathroom, and then the living room is going to be at the back of the house there. And I'm planning to have kind of a nice entryway at the front of the house there as well. And the bedroom was looking a little small, so I was trying to experiment with how to add some more room in there, but I decided to go against that bump out because it just didn't seem to really do much to add space to the room. So the bedroom is quite small, but I think it'll fit in their bed and maybe a few decorative pieces, and that's really all we need in this challenge. And for now, I'm planning to have the first baby just stay in the bedroom with the matriarch. I'm not going to add in a full nursery or anything quite yet. I'm going to try to make some more money, and then we'll add in nursery or other bedrooms for the babies. But for the first baby, just having it in the bedroom with the mother should be okay. And now that things are basically laid out in terms of the floor plan, we are going to go ahead and start adding in some more of the design styles that I think Kennedy would approve of. I think she's very cozy, cottagecore kind of, but also artsy. And we're going to add in some stuff to show that, but also be mindful of our budget, because I have not built a true starter home in a long time or anything that was on a budget constraint. So I'm going to have to be very mindful of the things that I'm choosing here, but also still trying to add in Kennedy style. So the first place we're going to start with replacing some of the filler furniture that was for the layout and really adding in that design is the kitchen. And spoiler alert, I love how this kitchen turned out. It's the best room in this house for sure, and I think that's largely because I decided to start here because later on I don't have a whole lot of money to do decorating, but I absolutely love how this kitchen turned out. We are going with the blue cottage living cabinets. I think they're so beautiful, and they also match the blue tone of that window bench sofa. And we're just going to keep with the blue theme really throughout the whole house. Apparently Kennedy really likes this baby blue color. So we use those counters as well as a lot of the cottage living appliances. I love the way the fridge and stove look from cottage living. I think they're just so cute. And I'm actually going to keep the breakfast nook table that I chose earlier. I think it's a nice size and fits in the space well. It also has that light blue swatch, and I'm going to add in the chairs that match with our bar stools. I'm also going to go ahead and do the flooring and wallpaper now so that I know I have money for it. And I just went with some plain white and light blue tiles in the kitchen, and I'm going to go with this nice wood flooring throughout pretty much the rest of the house. We do use some carpet in the bedroom and continue with the same tiles in the bathroom. And for the bedroom, I just went with some plain gray or maybe white colored carpeting. For the walls, I am going to be using some tiling in both the kitchen and the bathroom, just continuing with the same tile in both of them. And I really wish there were some better tile options in this game, especially like the half tile ones where it's half tile and then wallpaper on some, because I like to use those for backsplashes. And we just don't have any good backsplash tile in this game. But I decided to go with this one from, I believe it's Realm of Magic, that has the half tiling on the back. And it turned out pretty good, and it's actually a very good height with our countertops there. And I decided to only put it in the kitchen half. You can see that I only did tile on half of this kitchen as well. And then I'm going to do the wood flooring on the other half, as well as some wallpaper on the other half there. And I really wanted to use something from Cottage Living, but the way that the paneling on the bottom of those just didn't really line up with the half tile. So I decided to go with this nice gingham print, and it still was looking a little bit weird. So I decided to add in some columns just to help break up the walls and make it look a little bit better there where the two wallpapers meet. And then when I did that, I decided to put an wood beam on top as well to kind of make it look more complete. And then of course the columns and the wood beam up there did not match in color, so I had to switch out the columns, but I think it ended up looking very cute, and it looks really nice. And then our white archway didn't match, had to change that, and it still doesn't match, but I'm just gonna ignore it because I have to use that archway, and that's the only color option we got. In the living room and the entryway, I went with the nice Cottage Living wallpaper with the florals and the blue wainscoting on the bottom, and then in the bedroom I also used one of the wallpapers with the blue wainscoting but with the bunnies on it instead, and then using the same tile from the kitchen in the bathroom. And then now that all of the interior walls and floors are done, I decided I needed to do the exterior walls as well, just to make sure that I had money to at least put wallpaper and flooring in my whole house. And I wasn't really sure how I wanted the exterior of this house to look, because I really wanted it to look very cottagey, but I wasn't sure what would give off that correct vibe. So I decided to go with some stone from Cottage Living just on that accent part at least, and then I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do with the rest of the house, but I decided to go with this dark brown scalloped siding kind of thing from Cats and Dogs. And I don't entirely love the way that looks on this house, but it's what we got, so I decided to just work with it. What I really wanted was more of like a cabin-y vibe, or ideally cottage, but a cabin vibe would have been better as well, but this works. And then I decided while I'm out here to just do the roofing while we're at it. It was a pretty simple roof. The only thing really was that bump out, but the octagonal roof fit well on there, so it was no problem at all. It was very simple roof pieces to try to make this fit. The only thing I have issues with is are they called the eaves? The part that hangs down on the roof. I can never make those look right, because I don't like the way they look when they're all the way pulled in, but when they're pulled out, they overlap and it looks weird, and I just don't like it. So that's like my biggest struggle with roofing, at least for a simple build like this. And then I really didn't like any of the roof patterns either, so I just went with a dark one and then added some dark brown roof trim to kind of match the exterior of the house. And I really don't think it turned out that bad. I know I'm like hating on it a little bit, just because it's not what I wanted in my head, but with The Sims it's hard to do that anyway, so it really didn't turn out bad for what it is. And then I decided to move on to windows, because I really didn't want to run out of money before I put windows in, because that would just be depressing. To have this house like in the middle of the woods with no windows in it would be awful. So I decided to use some of the bigger accent windows on this stone part here where the bench seating is. I think that's just so beautiful. I decided to go with these curved ones. And then for the rest of the house, I'm going to be using some of the Cottage Living windows in this dark brown swatch. I think it matches pretty nicely and really helps to fulfill that cottagecore vibe that I was going for. I wasn't sure whether to use the square panes or the lattice ones, but I do end up using the lattice ones later on to match with these bigger lattice windows that I'm putting in now. I think they look very cute and cottagey and like a storybook place. I could see like Snow White stumbling upon this cottage, or like Aurora in her secret woods. So I think they look very nice on this house. But at this point, I was getting a little bit concerned with the amount of money that I had left. You can see there I have about $3,500, and there are still quite a few essential items that are not in this house, including a toilet, a bathroom sink, anything in the living room. I have no way to make money right now, no computer. So I was getting a little bit nervous. But don't worry, we end up with all the basics at least. Once I get into the gameplay, I am going to have to grind to start making money soon, because I also don't have any child furniture. I know they have got a little bit as a baby before they need like a toddler potty or a bed or anything like that. But those will all be expenses that we have to do. And then I also want to add in just some more decorative stuff, because this house does not get much more decorated than what you see right now, and right now it is lacking. I also had to get like the cheapest bed, and I don't really like it in this build, so I do want to replace that at some point because, again, the bed is very important in this challenge. Another thing I haven't touched on at all is the fact that the infant update should be coming out during this challenge, probably pretty soon after this challenge. I think it's supposed to come out this spring, and I have no idea how that is going to change the challenge, but I can't imagine it's going to make it any easier. So I am excited but also nervous for this update, especially for what it's going to do to this challenge. I just hope it's not too much harder, and hopefully it won't alter the rules too much in terms of when people get to age out and stuff like that. But I am just anxious to see what this update is going to bring and what it's going to be like, and also having 100 babies with the infant life stage added in is going to be an exciting time. Now finally working on the living room, which is pretty bare bones at this point, and it's not going to get much better, I'll just tell you that right now. But I am finally adding in some things that will help us to make money. I've got an easel just in case we have to resort to the painting. I'm also going to squeeze in a computer there. I wasn't really sure where to put the computer because there's obviously not a designated office space. I wasn't sure if I should try to squeeze it into the bedroom or even put it in that entryway there where there is nothing yet. But ultimately, I decided to just squeeze it into the living room here. I moved the easel and put the computer right there. Eventually, I would like to expand this house and include an office space for sure. We're going to have to expand at some point anyway, and I'm really not sure how I'm going to do it, if I'm going to expand on the bottom or eventually add a top floor for just older kids and like the office space and stuff like that, and just have toddlers not need to go up there. I'm not sure yet, but we will see when the time comes. But for now, we do at least have all the basic necessities that we need in this house. They've got a way to eat, they've got a bathroom to take care of all their needs, they've got a computer and a bedroom, so hopefully this will at least be enough for now. And I'm going to use my last tiny bit of money to at least decorate a little bit, add in a rug in the living room and a bath mat in the bathroom. And I'm also going to just add some stairs to the front door and do basically no landscaping. But this time I at least have an excuse because I had no money left. I also would have liked to add more to the entryway to make it not just an empty room, but again, no money. So that's what we're working with. Hopefully I can decorate some more and expand this house in the future. But for now, that is pretty much this house complete. I will put it on the gallery if anyone else is interested in it for their 100 baby challenge or just to live in. My EA ID will be in the description below, as well as all of my socials if you want to follow me anywhere else. I post a lot on TikTok. My Twitter is not very active, but you can follow me there if you would like to. If you enjoyed this video and you are excited about this 100 baby challenge, please consider leaving me a like or subscribing if you want to see more content like this, as well as my entire 100 baby challenge. I'm very excited but very nervous to start this, so we'll have to see how it goes. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you. You mean the world to me. If you would like to be involved in this challenge, you can make me mates for my Matriarch using the hashtag nikkinoodle100babies, and I can find them that way and add them to my game. You may also leave me baby name suggestions in the comments below, and I would be more than happy to use them because I can tell you right now, I'm not going to be able to think of 100 names. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys!